Today we're going to look at how we write direct speech. Direct speech is the part in the text that tells us what the character has said. So in this example here, get up and look after the bacon is the direct speech. It has inverted commas at the beginning and at the end of what the character has said. The reporting clause tells us who has spoken. So in this example, Hagrid said, get up and look after the bacon. So we have the direct speech and a reporting clause. When we write direct speech, we always start a new character talking on a new line. This makes it easier to work out who it is that's speaking. The reporting clause might go in the middle of the direct speech. It might go after the direct speech, or it might sometimes go at the beginning, followed by the direct speech. We'll always use inverted commas at the beginning and end so we can see what they've said. And there should always be a punctuation mark inside the inverted commas. So here we have a comma. It might be a question mark if we have a question. We can use an exclamation mark and a full stop. Here we have a task for you. Look at the numbers. They all represent a piece of punctuation that has been missing inside the inverted commas. Write down what you think the missing punctuation is. When you're ready, unpause the video and then you will get the answers. So here we have a comma after let us write the book. That's because the reporting clause comes next. So that's all part of the same sentence. But what shall it be about? You need a question mark because it is a question. A fairy story, comma inside the inverted commas, and then the reported clause. A book about kings and queens, comma again inside the inverted comma, followed by the reported clause. The brother said, "Oh no!" We need an exclamation mark. Let's write about animals. Full stop. It's a full stop here because there's no more speech after it and we've already had the reported clause at the beginning. When we write direct speech, we need to know what's actually said by the character. So here, I need to borrow your wand is the direct speech. Now I know where I can put my inverted commas at the beginning and at the end of what is said. I also need to remember I need some punctuation inside the inverted commas. So here I'm going to have a comma. I need to borrow your wand, said Ron. Now I need to go back and look for capital letters. We always start speech with a capital letter. I need to borrow your wand, said Ron. Ron's a proper noun, so it needs a capital letter. We must always remember the full stop at the end of the sentence. I need to borrow your wand, said Ron. Write these sentences, but remember all of the correct punctuation. We need inverted commas, punctuation inside the inverted commas, and don't forget your capital letters and full stops. When you're ready, unpause the video and you can check your answers. So you should have, that was a goal is direct speech, so it needs inverted commas around that part. Capital T for that, as it's the beginning of the sentence. And I've used an inverted comma, as it says shouted, so it makes that sentence more powerful. Should have a capital F for Frankie, as that's a proper noun, and don't forget the full stop at the end of the sentence. For the next one, what is for dinner is the direct speech, so inverted commas go around that, capital letter for the W, and your question mark inside the inverted commas because it's a question. No proper nouns in that sentence, but remember the full stop at the end. In the final one, I would like to go out and play in the fresh air is the direct speech, so the inverted commas go around that. Capital letter for I at the beginning of the sentence, and this time we need a comma inside the inverted commas because the reported speech goes afterwards. Don't forget the full stop at the end. Sometimes the direct speech is broken up by the reported clause inside. So the reported clause here is said Harry. Harry said, use your own wand or ask Hermione for a spare one. If said Harry wasn't there, that sentence would carry on. This has an impact on what punctuation we use. So if I put the inverted commas to start with around all the direct speech, use your own wand, or ask Hermione for her spare one. I need a capital letter for use your own wand, and because the reported clause is after, I need a comma in there. Use your own wand, said Harry. Because this sentence would carry on if said Harry wasn't there, I'm going to put a comma here, and I don't need a capital letter here. So, use your own wand, said Harry. Harry does need a capital letter. Or ask Hermione for her spare one. The full stop goes inside the inverted commas. I don't need any more punctuation outside. I do need a capital letter for Hermione's name. So now we have, use your own wand, said Harry, or ask Hermione for a spare one. So if this sentence would have carried on, after the reported clause we need a comma and no capital letter is needed. For this one, the reported clause is still inside, but we have two separate sentences on either side. Use your own wand. You lost mine last time. This affects how we do the punctuation around the reported clause. We still have the inverted commas around all of the direct speech, so we have two lots here. Use your own wand needs a comma because the reported clause is coming afterwards, but this time, because this is a separate sentence, I can put a full stop. If I put a full stop, obviously, I need a capital letter here. Use your own wand, said Harry. You lost mine last time. I'm going to put the full stop inside the inverted commas again, and then go back and check for capital letters here. Capital letter for use your own wand at the beginning of the sentence said Harry, proper noun. You lost mine last time. So if the sentence carries on, you'd use a comma after the reported clause. If they're two separate sentences, put a full stop and start again with a capital letter. Pause the video and have a go yourself. Rewrite these sentences with the correct punctuation. When you're ready, unpause the video and check your answers. So you should have, I'm stuck with this problem. Can you help me, please? It's the direct speech with your inverted commas around it. Don't forget capital I. And did you remember the apostrophe in I'm stuck with this problem, comma, moaned Sasha, because the reported clause comes after. These are two separate sentences. So after Sasha, you can have a full stop, followed by a capital letter. Can you help me, please? It's a question, so we need a question mark inside the inverted commas. Let's look at the next one. He asked me to play with him. Then he disappeared, and I never saw him again. That's the direct speech. Your reported clause has said Josh. If we didn't have said Josh in there, then we would carry on the sentence. He asked me to play with him, then he disappeared, and I never saw him again. So now we can have a comma here. So you should have inverted commas, capital H at the beginning of the sentence. He asked me to play with him, comma, close the inverted commas, said Josh, don't forget the capital letter. Then a comma, because the sentence carries on, inverted commas but no capital letter. Then he disappeared and I never saw him again. Full stop inside the inverted commas. If the reported clause comes before the direct speech, this tells us Hermione is speaking. We need a comma after the reporting clause. We then need to open the inverted commas and close them at the end of the direct speech, stop arguing. Because this is the first thing they say, we need a capital letter for stop arguing. I think at the end we could have a full stop, but I'm going to make it into an exclamation mark because I think she would sound pretty fed up if she's asking them to stop arguing. We need to go back to the beginning then and start our reporting clause with a capital letter. Hermione said, comma, stop arguing. Rewrite the sentences and put the correct punctuation in. When you're ready, unpause the video and check the answers. So we should have started with a capital letter for Grandma. Grandma asked, comma, what are you up to today? We need to start, because it's the reported clause comes first, we need to start the speech with a capital letter. It is a question, so we need a question mark inside the inverted commas. The next one, the teacher said to the class, comma, reported clause comes first, and then we need to start with a capital letter. There will be a house point for anyone who has tidied away their work. Don't forget the full stop inside the inverted commas. Now pause the video. We have a challenge for you. You need to add the correct punctuation to this passage. It's all the skills that you've practiced up until this point. Remember, you're looking for inverted commas, full stops, capital letters, question marks, and exclamation marks. Have a go now and unpause the video when you're ready to check your answers. When you've checked your work, if there's anything you're struggling with, go back and have a look at the video again and just practice that again so that you know what to do next time. Thank you for joining us today. You should now know how to write direct speech when you're writing your stories. Just remember, keep reading, it will help you.